So after cutting all the dados, this is just a dry assembly of the parts together. The centerpieces are lower because I have the Bessie corner clamps holding up the edges and keeping the outer structure together. But this is how it fits together so far. Okay. First things first, let's give this a measure. And I'm coming in at about 125.6 on this end. And actually, this is not. Let me buckle it together. Where's my actual clamps? So clamp it up on both sides. That way, I'll have a true measurement. Wow. Make sure this up beside us in here. Now this front part is overhung a bit, so that I can trim it off afterwards. I kind of did that on purpose because if you cut something too short, you can't add material. So these long clamps come in pretty useful. Okay, so now let's get this measurement done. So we're looking at about 123 point. Let's go 123.7 on this end. Ooh. Yep, 123.7 over here. And for one reason or another, we've got 124 point, let's just say 0.9. Okay, let's get a measurement of the center here. Let's see what's been working out. And here we've got 125. This may be bowed out a bit. All right, so what that's letting me know, let me see which side is the bottom. Because I marked it, it's okay. These are all the bottom. So off of this end, so I think what I'm going to do, let's do a measurement from base to here. That's roughly 39 here. This is not 39. This is over 39. And let me just check these dados. These are fairly close. This is 39. This one's not all the way in. Okay. So this one's not all the way in. That one is. Yeah, 39. Okay, I see it. So this one has to be clamped, pushed up. And it's at 39. Okay. So from the bottom, these are all pretty equal. Let me just check this end here. Yep, that's 39. And this is 39. So I'm good. So all across the top, I have to trim all these, cut all of these to height length. So I probably got a little ahead of myself by doing this pre-assembly like this. And I need to take it all apart and trim the top. So I'll use the MFT for that. And then I'll cut out a piece that's the size of these individual sections to do my doorways. Okay, so let me just take it all apart now. I want to make sure I keep these properly oriented. Luckily, I have them marked on the bottom on all the pieces. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. So let me go ahead and loosen these and start disassembling this. Let me try to take this up out of here. Okay. All right, this one I gotta be careful with. Actually, let's take this tip off. That's what I'll do. Put this up here. Now, I'm gonna be very, very careful with these two pieces with the very thin wheels. We don't want to break them, or else I'll have to make a whole nother piece. Alright, let's take this one out. Good thing that was just my foot. So these clamps are pretty useful. Okay, that was not the brightest idea. Alright, so we got that. And then I'm debating on if I should actually paint this before I assemble it. You know, do a dry assembly once I get it right, and then come back, take it apart, paint all the pieces individually, assemble it, and then fill whatever holes that need to be filled afterwards. That may be a good option. All right. First things first, let's set up the MFT. I need my fence. And I'm not going to take a whole lot off of these pieces. I just want to make sure they're all going to be even. So I need to determine, let's see, where's the tape measure? Just a pocket full of saws. Where's Waldo? We'll find it eventually. I think it's all the way over there. All right. So I'm going to take each piece and measure it and see which one is the shortest of the bunch. So this is 122. 0.1. I think I have my pencil upstairs, but I should have some lead in this. see how long I can hold on to this pencil. So, okay, we got, I'll just say 121 point, or sorry, 122.1. So that's 1. Okay. That. I want to put on the same presentation as well, so that I know what I'm working with here. So I've got, this one's 122. Alright, calm down, calm down. So I'm gonna make sure I measured that one off of the right side. Let me tell you, when I get better, it's gonna be a good thing. But right now, that is not the day. This is not the day. And actually, when I measure from that base, this is 122 as well. Yeah, this is 122. How did I get that other man? Yeah, this is 122. Am I going mad? It's 122, okay. So both of these are 122. I guess it's some kind of measuring error on that part. Let's check the next one. Where is the base? 122. And this is 120. This one looks just to be a hair over 122. But here, no, so let me just check that again. So I think, to be safe, I think I'm going to take them all down to 121 and a half is what I want to try to do. So based upon my cut right here, I want to go to 121 and a half. It should be good, right? Right there. Okay, so we got 121 and a half there. Front of the cut line. So in theory, every piece should be the same length when I finish cutting them all. And let's see, I've got 2 ends, 3 pieces in the middle, 5 pieces, 1 section, 2 sections, 3 sections, 14. Okay, so I got that. So I guess I'll just set up to cut. All right. Go ahead and use. Now, you see, these are the things where, this is a situation where having the Festool MFT, like for longer pieces like this, I mean, I could use that if I wanted to, if I put it down on the end and use the other part as the out feed. But that doesn't make much sense because I can't do my stop. And that's where having a big MFT like this comes into play. So I got all my bases that way. I'm gonna just start cutting these here, and I will use my Makita track saw. I do think I am going to get that dashboard so that I can do that lift up, because I think that's just gonna be so much faster than having to use the dogs, which is not a bad thing, but it's just not quite as fast. And now I'm going to take a piece of plywood like the one I have here to kind of keep my ends lifted up. Where is a piece of scrap? So come back over here. That may not work. It'll barely work. Yeah, I think it'll work. Lift this up. Let's put this on the other end. Keeping it elevated makes it easier to get pieces in and out. Obviously. Put this stop down and butt my piece up here, and that looks about good. That's a nice kind of decent amount of material off. So that's 121 and a half, and actually by this scale on the actual thing it's 121, but per my measurement with the tape measure is 121 and a half. Either way, I'm going to be okay with that. So let me go ahead and make these cuts real quick. I'm going to keep the tracks on. Yeah, there it is. All right. So I don't need the table saw over here. I can move this out of the way so I can get a better, a closer shot with this camera. Let's see how far that zooms in. That is as far as it zooms in. Let's see if I can pull it around here. Like this. Yeah, like that. Okay. Let's get this cut done. And I could use the dust extractor, but I'm not right now. So let's go. Let's check my depth. That's good. All right, piece one is cut. This here. Let's move this out. Let's go to piece two. after this, I'll start working on the doorway template to cut out the doors. So that, butt it up nice and square. Let's get that cut done. Alright, this is where I have to be very, very careful. And I think when I start to assemble, this is the one I'm going to start with. So I'm going to start from one side to assemble, and I'll make sure I get one side shored up, and then cut the other side and work from like left to right or right to left, whichever way I start to assemble it. But I'm going to start with this one so I can get this one secured and custom cut. But it's going to be tricky doing the door for this one. All right, ready? And even if I don't, use the dashboard set all the time, if I do want to get it, it'll still, give me just that added functionality. It'll be the functionality of the MFT, but, okay, yeah. It'll be the functionality of the MFT, but it'll also have the ability to do what I'm still doing here now. So I think that's pretty useful. I'm still finding that even with this big table, I could still use another flat surface to work on, because when I had obviously this thing assembled on top of the table, I didn't have any place to cut. And so I'm thinking of trying to design and make a table. I've seen a couple on YouTube where it's a table that you can actually put up on the wall. Oh, I pray that I didn't cut that short. That would be terrible. I should have put that one all the way down there. Anyway. It's easy to get distracted with the little things. So yeah, anyway. So I have on order the Makita router and the router sled to go with this, so that I could do dados all the way across an 8-foot sheet of plywood. It's actually the Makita router that I ordered actually has 2 batteries and a charger that comes with it. And that's pretty cool, because right now I only have 2 Makita batteries. And because the track saw requires both of them, I don't really use this drill that they gave me for free when I bought the track saw, because I don't have an extra battery. So I can use the drill without the track saw, but as you see, I have both batteries in there, so that leaves no battery for this. With the router, it only takes 1 battery at a time, so I can use the other battery here, which would be kind of cool. I'm anxious to see like how well this performs. I really haven't used it, and it's a nice little size or whatever, but yeah, we'll see. Now, speaking of routers, there's a router, the Metabo, is it HPT? Something like that. I think it's about $400. I want to get that router. It's a 36-volt router, and it's actually, it's a 2 horsepower router, but completely battery operated, but you can also plug a adapter onto it and make it corded. And that's amazing, especially if it is able to be used with, say, the Makita slide or even the DeWalt one. That would be awesome, because you would have cordless capability, but also a little bit more power. So it'd be more routers than you can use at once. But I think that would be a really nice addition to the shop. So that is on my radar of things to do. I think I did cut this. Let's count my pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we should be good on the sides. Now let's work on the door template. So I'm going to take one of these center pieces and not the one that's super thin because I don't want to break it. And what I'm going to do is get a measurement of one of these sections, or yeah, I'll make them all the same. Let me just, dang it, freaking tape measure, it's got legs. Tell me, why don't you put the tape measure in your pocket? Why? Why don't you do that? This is where most of my time goes, looking for stuff. I'll have it in my hand, I'll get distracted, and yeah. Not on my purse. I do have, so I like using these, the metric tape measure. It's pretty useful. I switch back and forth. I'm not, 100% metric, nor am I 100% imperial, obviously, but I do see the benefit of using both. All right. Now I know, oh, here it is. So as soon as I move stuff around, I find it. All right, so this first section here, this is the top. Let's start from the base. Let's see what we got. So this is 40. This one's 40. And this one is 37 and 37.8. So 30, 30, and 37.8. 30, 30, and 37.8. So I got some wood over there because I'm planning on building a planter box this season, and to start trying to grow, like some salads, some kale, tomatoes, stuff like that, healthy stuff. That's the goal anyway. Now what I'm going to do is figure out